Alrighty, you guys, welcome back to a brand new episode here on
The ankle.
Hey Ember.
I hate you like I'm young.
I don't want to talk about it!
The misery, let's take it from the top. Body like an hourglass, ticking like a clock. Don't tell you the price that you pay.
That's when I noticed the cold breeze.
The ankle's a little mean.
But he prayed for gold.
So, good day, you guys. Hope everyone's having a beautiful and wonderful Monday. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, like, subscribe, become most home. So, yes, in case you didn't hear in the other videos, we got memberships up, we got everything up and running. So, if you'd like, become a member, you guys. It's 99 cents or $1 something. I don't know what YouTube does. I specifically chose 99 cents. And then it's probably like YouTube's added stuff. I don't know. I really don't. Like taxes, whatnot. No clue. But it's the lowest I could set it. For today's video, oh my god, you guys. Oh my god. Quirky here. Quirky moments. Everyone go subscribe, go like, go show them support, because this video, what an endeavor. It's going to be an endeavor for us too to finish, okay? So don't yell at me if this one comes out a bit later. It's going to take us a while. I paused taking all the like notes and whatnot for the Jennifer's Body review that's going to happen over on the second channel on Friday. That's taken forever also, so I don't know. We're just chipping away at stuff. But this is Feeding the Lore, The Dark History of Quirky Love Rosie, episode 2. Super thankful for Quirky getting these out, you know, and just doing them in general. My gosh, the work that has to go into this, and just like, I don't know, is there an archive of Rosie somewhere? Like a Kiwi Farms or something? I don't know. Definitely the snowflake of the Quirky-verse. But we are going to check it out, guys. Like I said, I think I said it. It's an hour and a half. So grab your popcorn, grab a drink, do whatever you gotta do. Then let's just dive right on into this. Shall we? This is crazy.
They don't tell you the price. They don't tell you the price you pay.
Period.
Rosie.
Stop.
They don't tell you the price that you pay.
Hi, welcome to me. I just want to say thank you so much for all of the love and support that everyone has shown me, and also for being so nice about how late this video is. A lot of you know, but I do have some quite serious health problems going on, and yeah,
Well, I hope you're all right, Quirky. Hope you get, you know, the help that you need. So everyone, definitely go show your support.
appreciate all the grace, because I'm not always able to edit. Thank you so much for all of the subscriptions and the comments, the likes, the hypes, everything. I went from 50 subscribers to 2,469 as of the time of recording. Thank you so much.
Round of applause. Big congrats.
And I also wanted to give a quick thank you to my members. Thank you for joining the Quirky Creeping Crew, K2 Joy, and
Oh my gosh, she's gonna hate this.
Nora Elizu. And thank you for joining the Quirky Cutie Crew, Yami. Thank you so much. I'm just letting everybody know that I am actually selling feet pics now.
Listen, I didn't pre-watch this, so
Quirky Cutie Crew and Up will get exclusive access to Daisy and Franklin's toe bean pictures.
That's so adorable.
That's right. And for those of you who don't know, Franklin and Daisy are my adorable fat little kitty cats. That's their pictures there on the member screen when they were kittens. Please do not feel obligated to, but if you would like to support my small channel by signing up for a membership or just liking and subscribing, I would so appreciate it.
I'm probably going to have to. It's like an obligation.
Thank you all for helping build this channel up. I wanted to include as an announcement in this video as well that all the proceeds from part 1 of the docuseries will be going to a CSA charity here in Canada. It's called Little Warriors. Please check them out. It's littlewarriors.ca.
Period, diva. Damn.
Not.com. They're fantastic. Highly recommend seeing what they do and how you can support victims. And so all of the proceeds will be donated until June 2027. Really quickly, too, I wanted to make 2 retractions. Number 1 was that I said that the Phoenix Rose Instagram account was deleted. It wasn't, actually. It was still active. So Rosie had kind of switched these around to where she had one private, one public, etc. In fact, she has now turned the Phoenix Rose account into Quirky Loves Poetry, where she posts her
of course.
riveting poetry. The second retraction is that I said that she was making YouTube videos habitually while she lived in Omaha with Chris. She's had her YouTube channel since 2014, but it turns out she only posted maybe 1 to 2 vlogs during that time. So I just want to keep things as accurate as possible, since
period.
That's another goal of mine, and say, yeah, she only posted 1 or 2 vlogs. It wasn't a habitual thing. So I would like to offer up a clarification because I've gotten several comments about this. Firstly, I'd like to apologize to Rosie for spreading this.
Okay, I did see a lot of, I'm just going to say confusion, okay? Because not how you presented it, Quirky. I'm going to talk directly to them like they're here with me. Not how you presented it, but just how it came off was like, yeah, a little odd, you know? The story that she told in that podcast versus the story that she gave another time just sounded off. You know, I saw a lot of comments about that. My brain didn't pick it up when we first watched it. So, okay.
Information unintentionally. And I also apologize to everyone that I confused with how I phrased everything about her childhood assault with her.
Clarification, Rosie's mother walked in on the beginning of a situation. Her parents kicked her 12-year-old cousin out afterwards. Rosie did not tell her parents that more had happened previously or that it happened several times. I apologize to everyone I confused when I was too vague in the name of being sensitive to the situation. I understand that I promoted several people into thinking she was potentially lying about a very serious assault. I personally believe Rosie's story about this. Okay. We're on the same page now.
Listen, I was trying to be sensitive to the nature of the situation and
I didn't know I was going to read it out. Sorry.
Not offer too many details. But it kind of backfired because I was too vague and I confused people. That spread misinformation. So I'd like to clarify this. Rosie's
We love an accountability queen.
mom walked in on her cousin and her. It was the beginning of a situation. It hadn't gone very far, but it was far enough to where her parents were uncomfortable and kicked the cousin out. He was 12 years old. Rosie's parents did not know that it had gone further than that and that it had happened multiple times. Rosie also talks about how when she was 13 and she was in sex ed class, she remembers realizing the extent of what her cousin had done to her. She later says that she did not tell her parents the full extent of everything that happened until she was 16, but then at another point, I have also heard that she didn't tell them until she was 20, so I'm unsure. This is the situation as I understand it, and again, I apologize to everyone I confused. Hopefully, I was able to clarify to you personally in the comments that I saw.
I unfortunately, I guess, because we're clarifying it. So, you know, but I saw a lot of comments too, and I couldn't speak on that because I don't know Rosie this well. Okay. I know Rosie from like the past few months.
And thank you for showing me some grace through this. Again, I'd rather share too little than too much, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Thank you. So, now that we have the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the brain rot, shall we?
Period. This shit would piss off Foodie Beauty. She'd be like, why are you so dramatic? Rosalind. Is that her actual name? Sorry. I thought it was Rosie. Is it really Rosalind? Rosalind? Okay. Literally any Rosie video really does need this many disclaimers.
Let's set the scene. It's 2019. The U.S. House of Representatives voted to impeach Donald Trump. The first all-female spacewalk took place, where 2 female astronauts repaired the ISS. Simone Biles became the most decorated female gymnast of all time. Old Town Road broke records for its 19-week reign as #1 on the Billboard's top.
Where is this going?
10. The FDA approved a cystic fibrosis drug that helped over 90% of its patients.
Damn.
In other scientific news, a 500-pound woman went to the hospital claiming that her body was shutting down.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Sorry. Quirky, your sarcasm is next to unfucking matched. Oh my god.
The reason? Malnutrition. 3 days later, she was fine and back at work. A medical marvel.
You gotta actually be fucking joking with me. Oh, wait. She did claim she was, Anna. That's right. Listen, you can 1,000% suffer from it and still be bigger bodied. I mean, everyone starts somewhere. That's terrible. But, like, it's true. Rosie, though, be so fucking for real. I think in order to, like, I don't know, slap that label on someone, there has to be, like, dramatic difference in weight. I don't know as though we were seeing that.
I've been on the struggle bus when it comes to my health.
Thank you.
I have to get further tests to find the core of my issue, but I believe certain health issues were causing me such malnutrition that my body started shutting down and I had to go to the hospital on Monday.
Is that even possible at that size?
I'm feeling better today and I'm praying to be able to go to work tomorrow and make it the whole day. If you were on
Oh my god, Rosie, you could have just said you weren't feeling well. You didn't have to call the ambulance.
FB, you know more of the details. And for any lingering trolls, no, it's not weight related. Or diabetes related. But I'm taking care of myself and hoping the vitamins I'm taking will help prevent the debilitating migraines and that the main issue is a vitamin D deficiency and not something worse and more chronic. I won't be able to
Oh, please, that's what she's praying for.
test ran for a couple more weeks, sadly, but I'm hopeful. I took a selfie after hiding in my dark, silent apartment for about 36 hours and having some time to rest and recover and rebuild from these issues. And I was on a video call with someone I love very much when trying to take a selfie or two, since I finally didn't look sick in my face anymore.
Okay, Rosie. So she's always been a A very dramatic one, huh? Rosie, were you in theater in high school? I feel like you would have done really well, Queen.
2019 was shaping up to be a pretty interesting year for Roz.
Could play Annie Wilkes in Misery.
She had broken up with Chris and moved to Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. I'm unsure which came first, but Roz did move in with a couple and lived there for around 4 months.
Oh. They were definitely all fucking. Be so for real. You all thought it too.
And then she moved into a family member's camper, and the camper was placed in the family member's yard.
She's just such a stereotype. I hate to say it. I really do. She's such a stereotype. Oh my god. Could you imagine you're like getting ready for work and Big Roz busts the door of the camper fucking wide open? She steps down and like the whole thing just kind of...
The move had left her strapped for cash financially, so it was pretty good that her family member...
Good god. I've never seen someone who takes such unflattering photos. Sorry, not to chop a girl's, confidence, but...
was able to help her out in that way. The camper was a small enclosed space, and due to Roz's size, it was pretty hard for her to live there comfortably.
Bruh, I bet. Was she... I hope they at least let her shower in the house.
You will hear her in multiple videos say that she still has knee problems due to the way she was forced to sleep in the camper. Her knee problems have nothing to do with being over 500 pounds for 10 plus years.
You can't make me laugh like that, Quirky.
This is also the period of time that Rosie says she started her sex work, or her actual sex work, as she phrases it.
Oh?
She does not count the time from 2013 to 2019 as a period of time in which she did sex work, regardless of the fact that she was selling nudes and on live cam sites.
Okay. I don't understand the distinction because they are respectfully both sex work.
And many other things, etc. Struggling for money, Rosie asked around and one of her friends directed her to Phoebe. Phoebe is a website catered towards feederism. Rosie began...
Who do we think that friend could have been? Huh? Emily? Huh?
Posting adult content geared towards feederism on the website and soon began making money to help support herself. In addition to this, I believe she had an office job.
Okay.
The same friend that introduced...
Could you imagine Roz in the office? Oh my gosh. That's not even like a size thing, okay? She's just so annoying.
her to Phoebe, also introduced her to the BBW sex parties. According to the Whatever podcast that Rosie did in December 2023, for about a 4-month period, she would go to these sex parties every other weekend.
Jeez.
And sometimes she would do things, sometimes she would not.
Okay. Work diva, you do you. I don't judge in that manner. If you want to go to some freak fest fuck orgy, live your life, queen. Just be safe.
But she did go. There apparently was a pretty big BBW.
She probably lost most weight during that time period, honestly, if she was just getting railed left and right. Sorry. Sorry.
Scene in Atlanta at the time, and she enjoyed making friends and...
Oh, Atlanta? I know she was having fun.
Everything else that came with that. I'll let Roz tell you in her own words about her BBW sex bash days. Just a quick warning that some of it is pretty graphic. No shame, whatever. She can do whatever she wants with her own body. I don't care. I just wanted to let you guys know that some parts are graphic.
Yeah, I was like, it was during my first breakup. Like I mentioned, me and my ex, we broke up for 9 months. That was during 2019.
And you just went on a fuck fest? Okay. Okay, diva. It's just like, I'm so bored.
And
so what
was like when we first really co-opted, like I mentioned earlier, the get under to get over. It didn't work the first time, so I don't...
Listen, I know that some of these girls were supportive of her, a bit supportive of her, but some of them, the way they're side-eyeing her, oh my gosh.
Why I tried it again.
Well, how big was the roster? 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, couple. You said you're bi, right? So maybe a couple.
Yeah,
girls.
I mean, that was when I explored my sexuality.
Yeah.
So I did hook up with a couple girls. I had my moment. I learned.
What was your moment? What is your moment?
Well, so some of the parties were
She had a slut era. It's okay. It's okay. I think of slut as a loving term.
regular parties, but some of them were swinger parties.
Okay.
How was that? Fun, but problematic.
Dude, she wants the tea.
How many of these parties would you say you went to? Just a
So-
couple or like regularly?
Span of 6 months. When I was in the thick of it, they had basically parties every other weekend.
Okay. And you would go pretty much together
About at least 4 months I did.
4 months.
I mean, I didn't always do something at the party,
But you'd go.
but it would depend, like,
Did have y'all seen the episode in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Frank I believe he brings Charlie to an orgy, but he just brings him there because they have good food. That's just the image in my mind when Rosie said I wouldn't do anything half the time. They had a smorgasbord.
on if
Yeah.
I had invited people I already knew there, or if I met someone,
Yeah.
whatever happened.
At these parties, do people typically just like, will they hook up? Maybe they don't hook up at all, but if they do hook up, is it with just one person or will they like sleep with like multiple people? Like, for example, did you ever hook up with like,
I feel like they're just trying to get her to embarrass herself, but I feel like this is a interesting conversation. You know, it doesn't need to be done in a disrespectful way.
2 dudes in a night or 3 dudes in a night?
Yeah,
More?
yeah.
More?
There's a
Atta girl.
specific high number for the most I did in one night, but
Let's hear it.
Come on, Rosie, spill the tea.
You got it.
talk about this topic such a long time.
You got it. It's easy.
Before I go into this topic,
Sure.
I do want to say this isn't who I currently am.
Listen, my only speculation of it all is that, like, how do we guarantee everyone is tested, everyone is safe, this and that, you know? If it's a small, closed-off group of people, then sure, but the more numbers you add, the messier that shit gets.
Totally fine.
Out of passage
Totally.
myself that
Totally fine.
would not make these decisions now, but at one night, 10.
Damn, Rosie. Damn. I bet she was sore.
Was that like an intentional goal? Like you went in?
No, it actually was kind of accidental. I just like I was very laissez-faire.
Look at these guys. Oh my god. The issue is, though, they're approaching it from a very misogynistic standpoint of, like, a woman's purity being tied to, like, her worth. So, in their eyes now, Rosie is worthless, essentially, because she's the town tramp in their eyes. I feel like it'd be so annoying to break all that down realistically, but that's what it's giving.
About life at the time, and
Yeah.
I was just very social. 2019.
I guess that's one way to call it. Sorry. I'm still gonna crack my jokes, my gosh, but I don't think she should be ashamed of that.
I was like heavy in like the BBW scene in Atlanta at the time, and
It's not like she was bribing a homeless person with a cheeseburger. Cough, cough, Chantal.
I went through my wild phase in 2019, to say the fucking least.
Listen, as a victim of similar trauma, we tend to have a hoe phase. It's alright as long as you come out of it clean. Well, that's problematic too to say, but you know what I mean. Like, just take care of yourself, guys.
I had just gotten back together with my ex, but we were under the like.
He's like, well, something's changed.
understanding that we were in an open relationship for the first time ever. And like prior to that, it had not been that way.
Is this the one that you cheated on and then said, oh, hey, it's an open relationship? Which, mind you, it's only an open relationship, truthfully speaking, a fair open relationship, if both parties are open. If one is really committed and the other one is off, you know, in the open part of the relationship, that's doomed. Just doomed.
And I had been going out partying, meeting a lot of people, doing a lot of things, and I had made a lot of friends that year.
I bet.
I don't really speak to anyone from that period of my life because of just how off course I was. I was so not me. Like, anyone that met me in 2019, they didn't fucking know me. They knew the most broken version of me. They knew the most...
Well, that was still you. That was still you. I don't think it's healthy or useful to, like, completely negate or disassociate from a part of your life. That was still you. It was a part in your journey.
Toxic version of me. They knew the most...
Oh, well, I wonder what this is on.
Most, like, frankly, like, strung out version of me. I was so addicted to THC vape carts.
I'm sorry. Strung out, and it was vape cards. Oh my god. I just can't get over how absurd she is sometimes. Like, sometimes I really do feel for her. And then others, it's just like, Rosie, you're such a buffoon.
This is another lesson on Raw's lore. You are about to learn the origin story of the weed bump.
The what?
Joy.
That to this day, I still have a bump on my skull. Right, where is that? Right here. That formulated because I...
Formulated? I can't stand her.
Abused them so heavily. One day, I felt such severe pressure in my head. As I was smoking it, I felt this bump formulate, like, pop up in my skull. And
I'm at a loss for words. She probably deleted this one, didn't she? Ooh. If I had seen this back in the early days of the Retro React, I'd be like, okay, we're working with someone of lesser intelligence right now.
at one point, when I finally had a neurologist touch it, like, no one's just taken it seriously yet that I've seen. So, you know, I did get a head scan. Like, at some point, I got a CT scan, but I'm too fat for an MRI or anything else to, like, kind of figure out what happened. But I've not really been the same since. So, you know, don't THC vape. Don't vape, period.
In the Quirky Love Rosie community, that story is as iconic as the dangling ankle story for Amberlyn Reed.
Damn. We have so much lore to catch up on. Quirky moments, ma'am. If you could, just give me a little bit of a heads up. How long is this series?
Weed bump.
Not the weed bump. Oh my god. People are gonna start asking her about it, you guys. So many of y'all are about to get blocked. I know it.
Oh, vape. Just kind of want to set the scene. January 1st.
That's a disclaimer. Don't go bugging people. Don't do it. Don't.
Was coming up, and I knew that when the new year came in, I wanted just to hit the job hunt, try to find something better.
Okay.
I was living in the red. I was on the verge of being homeless. This was the beginning of a long stretch of period of housing crises for me during the COVID pandemic and all of that. So obviously I didn't know that at the time, but...
Where was Levi? Where were her parents during all of this? Because they're so fine helping her out now. Why weren't they back then, right?
I walked out. I was really depressed at Christmas. I spent Christmas with some friends of mine. And then I had like a ton of opportunities to go out for New Year's. I could have gone to downtown Atlanta, gone to a nightclub. I had
Could you?
multiple house parties I was invited to. I was just very social.
She was Miss Fricking Popular.
2019. I was like heavy in like the BBW scene in Atlanta at the time. And I went through my wild phase in 2019, to say the fucking least. And I decided to play it safe. I had a bad feeling about New Year's, ironically enough. And so I thought it would be safe if I went up to an hour north of me to like the mountains in up near Fort Mountains was the location I went to, because there was a married couple that I was friends with. Something happened that night that I'm not going to get into in this video because that's not the point of it.
Oh, okay, well, hope you're all right. I don't know. Sounds sus.
But that event changed the entire trajectory of my life.
So throughout the year, Rosie had been attending parties.
Good gosh.
And in December of 2019, she quit her job. She said that it was a very abusive environment. Again,
Wow, Rosie.
it's
Is she at work in slippers? Good gosh.
unclear if she was living in her family member's camper or if she had her own place at this point, but I do believe it was the camper. This photo is from November 2019 when her work had a pajama day.
Oh, okay.
And then she ended up quitting the next month. Quick trigger warning that the following story will discuss SA and someone being in a mental institution. Please treat yourself kindly. If you are struggling with anything, please skip ahead. Thank you.
The people that are worried about me, you don't have to worry about me either. Because that's not what this is. This isn't some name-dropping drama bullshit.
Okay, I feel like that's just such an unnecessary way to start.
I got a fucking story. And my story is the one that matters.
Oh. I feel like this was the energy she wanted to bring to the Paradise documentary, but I'm not going to make any more jokes. This is serious.
Not the people that hurt me.
This was a black screen filmed by Rosie. She's talking about SA and mental hospital.
And I want
So, trigger warning, y'all.
to be very clear that this story will also be read in the strength of this voice. Will fuck anybody that's going to try to stop me. Because you won't be able to.
No shade. No shade. But she's coming off like she's one of the Epstein list girls, okay? Like, Rosie, just tell us your story, girl. You don't need the dramatics. That's the thing. You don't need all this. It's better to speak confidently, but, smoothly.
To be very clear, I'll make it a living hell for you. Because I have the truth. And I've always had the truth, even when I was lost in a sea of...
Girl, you cannot be sounding like Britney Spears on Instagram and have me taking you seriously. I really am sorry.
Other people's lives. I will never be put in situations like that again. Ever.
Period.
I will die under a bridge alone before it happens again. And I mean those words with every fucking fiber of my being. I have so much I need to say. And it will be read. It'll be read and heard in the clarity of my fucking truth.
Okay.
And
I'm not trying to make light of it, you guys. It's just like she's coming at us heavy, like it's our fault.
Story. In my time, my way. I'm going to state some facts here. I have a case number with the police report that I filed that was not investigated because COVID broke out 2 weeks after I filed it. I have medical records that show the permanent physical injury I have from what he did to me.
Did she not come on and say that, like, she had a full-on panic attack and couldn't even do the full exam? I'm just saying, we heard that once before.
None of this is internet content.
Then we shouldn't be making it that.
I have the text where he was explicitly told the thing he did to me would never be something I would consent to. And there were 3 separate incidents prior to leading up when that person who I considered a friend raped me. And I'm using the word.
3 times it happened and you still called them a friend? Carry on.
Because that's what happened.
On January 1st, 2020, in the early hours of the morning, Roz was assaulted by a close friend. For a period of about 4 months, she had lived with this friend and his wife. The rumor is that she was in a polycule with them and wanted to serve as their live-in nanny. This didn't work out, however, and they continued to be friends after she moved out. But for New Year's Eve, Roz went up to celebrate with them in the mountains. From what we understand, this was a consensual situation, and then a non-consensual act within that happened.
Okay.
This situation is absolutely horrible, and it brings up an important conversation, namely the conversation around consent. And that consent can be revoked at any time. And just because you consent to one sexual act does not mean you are consenting to any sexual act. You are allowed to change your mind at any point, and that is completely fine. And if your partner does not honor that, it is now a non-consensual situation. It doesn't matter if you have done that act before with that person or anything like that. If you change your mind, you change your mind. Rosie says that she has a text message exchange with this person showing that she said she would never consent to the type of act that was done to her against her will. We can only speculate what that was, and I have my own opinions, but honestly, it doesn't matter what type of act it was. It matters that it was non-consensual, and he knew it. Days after, Rosie had put a lot of this stuff on her Instagram stories, detailing what had happened to her. We're going to go through those now. I will be censoring some things and reading some things aloud.
Let's have a good 2020, they said. Let's leave 2019 behind us, they said. Little did they tell you. Everything just gets so much worse.
December 31st, 2019, around 9 to 10 p.m. The image is Roz seemingly at a New Year's Eve party, looking happy and glowing. Roz posted this on her story after the fact. January 2nd, 2020, the caption read, "My cousin Lars." This shows Roz seemingly in a hospital bed in the emergency room on her side. It's unclear who took this photo. Rosie was in the ER for several hours before she was released to go home. She did not require a hospital stay. This photo was apparently taken the same night. It says, "Same night. My aunt asked me to do this when I didn't want to, but I knew my family abroad would want to see me smile."
Was her aunt the one that came and picked her up?
Content warning for SA, trauma, mental health, EDs, etc. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this worthlessness. He tried to hurt me. I got him way in time before I was fully hurt. He knew I didn't want it. I froze when he did it. I felt so much guilt. My best friend didn't believe me. So many people didn't believe me. So many people needed my silence. My silence was killing me again. My silence made me so anxious, just like when I was a child. Breaking my silence at 18 from my first assault at age 6 has helped me heal. I haven't been honest with myself about SA. As it happened, I always let them manipulate me because I felt silenced. My best friend didn't believe me. She told me I overreacted. Someone I didn't know harassed me to go to the police. My best friend's boyfriend told me to off myself when I felt my most worthless. My best friend cared more about her feelings than about me wanting to end it. It hurt. My heart wouldn't stop racing. Her pain hurt me. So many people said so many cruel things. I needed compassion, and these people that I trusted were heartless. I've had trauma as an adult, but the trauma of 2 of my closest friends allowing me to be violated in their home, and then 2 other friends violated my trust in them, it hurt. I called 911 on myself when I felt the most unsafe I ever have in my life. The only thought I could think was driving myself into a wall. They hurt me too. They sent me to a place that didn't give me water or food for so long. A place that didn't advocate for me. A place that refused to allow me to sit down for counsel. Because I didn't have any money. I wanted to die because I felt helpless, and they sent me to a place where the doctors ignored me. A place that refused to help me. It was like prison. I disassociated to survive. I helped the elderly being ignored as much as I could. I helped the people I could. Once I snapped out of my psychosis because reality was not real. I worked tirelessly to get out of there. There were no clocks. The bed was inadequate for my broken body. The bruises hurt. So much yelling. Continued in comments.
I can start to see how this forms kind of the person that we see today. And I can sympathize with a lot of what she's saying she's feeling in this. Working through like childhood trauma is hard. And then on top of that, you are thrown, just trauma of your adult life as well. It can make it 10 times harder.
I was drowning in my pain, and I was yelled at to calm down. I never put up a fight. I never tried to hurt myself. I just cried. They constantly told me not to cry. It was hurt myself or call 911. I made the call to protect myself because my illness made me want to end it. My ED made me want.
Do we think that could be like what some of the phone calls nowadays are?
To end it. Rosie didn't want to end it. I will heal. I need time. I will write and publish again. I fell back in love with writing. Writing doesn't hurt anymore when I listen to sleep music. I wish Instagram didn't make writing hurt so much back then. I wish I had let myself love writing again sooner. Maybe I wouldn't have exploded so hard. I haven't exploded like this since I was a child. I will heal. When you lose reality, you forget what are lies and what are truths. I am on the path to stay true again. I didn't stay to my truth, and I got hurt. My name is Rosie. I never forgot Rosie. She was just drowning in pain. She never left. I made sure I always remembered my name when I held that stuffed cat. Jay gave me the cat, and I could remember I wasn't alone when I touched it. It hurt when they ripped it away. It hurt when they hurt my inner child. I'd rather deal with the pain of criticisms than lies. I'm still trying to get help. I'm fighting a hard system set up for me to fail. I will keep failing until I find my peace again. I am always so afraid to fail. I will fail until I succeed. I will never go back there. Rosie organized all of these Instagram stories into highlights on her profile.
Oh?
She kept these up from 2020 to 2026. She deleted them in May 2026 for
Huh. That's really recent.
unknown reasons. You may
Right when she started to get a lot of flack. Interesting.
be thinking that the place that she said she would never go back to was her friends' houses. But no. This begins another chapter of Rosie's story. The time when she claims that she was medically kidnapped.
Alright, now this is a lot of the criticism that I hear aimed towards this story, and I want to make sure that we are differentiating here. We can criticize her you know, amping it up, making it medical kidnapping, does not negate, you know, the fact of, like, why she was there.
The term medical kidnapping only applies to minors. You can pause to read the definition. This term
Medical kidnapping occurs when a medical professional believes that you have caused your child harm and calls CPS to remove the child from your custody. This is often the result of the doctor, nurse, or administrator thinking you are abusing or neglecting your child. It can also happen if you refuse certain medical treatments, such as a medication with dangerous side effects, and you think the risk is unacceptable. If doctors and other medical professionals believe that a parent or parents are withholding life-saving treatments from a child and that this endangers the child's well-being, they have a legal right to call CPS or law enforcement to remove the child from your custody. This term does not apply to adults. Okay.
term does not apply to adults.
I guess it's in the name, kidnapping, right? But adults get kidnapped also. But I don't know if it can be done through the medical system. But then if you look at someone like Britney Spears, we're mentioning her a lot today. She was kind of medically kidnapped, you know? She was forced to take lithium or else, you know, they were threatening to take away her kids.
The credit for the following video goes to Nikki T on YouTube. Nikki has archived dozens of videos that Rosie has deleted. Rosie deletes videos, then changes her story regularly. Nikki's goal is to hold her accountable for her lies. Please
Okay, period, diva.
subscribe to Nikki T if you haven't already, and come join us for a live stream one day. They're wonderful.
This event involves very light mention of an essay event. It also mentions really significant abuse at the hands of medical professionals, not only to myself, but to elders and other people. And specifically talking about mental health inpatient facilities and what that can be like in American health. This is my story.
To be fair, I'm jumping to conclusions here, but I'm going to throw it out. You can't go in to a hospital and say that you want to harm yourself and then expect to just be let go whenever those feelings subside. They're gonna hold on to you. So, and she even said she was in psychosis. So, like, wouldn't it have been for the better that you were there?
Anchor, College Park, Georgia. It is single-handedly the most traumatic thing that I've experienced. It was the catalyst of the most traumatic period of time I've had as an adult. I
The hospital?
was already diagnosed with PTSD for several years at that point. I was, prior to my ex and I breaking up the first time and me moving to Georgia, I was doing a lot of EMDR therapy and working on myself, and that all stopped when we moved to Georgia. And we kind of stopped therapy at that point in an inopportune time. And I was not in a good place. I really can't stress that enough. Really ever being alone, and I wasn't doing well with it. After that event, it happened at about 2:20 in the morning, January 1st, 2020. And when I finally got home, got out of the situation, that started a 72-hour mental breakdown that I barely remember. I was just trying to pretend that I was okay when I was clearly, like, unable to function. And I thought that if I just, like, pretended everything was fine and I just kept doing everything I was doing prior to that moment, that I would be okay. I was kind of freaking out about the situation, and I was calling people that I thought were my friends. Like I mentioned, I was a part of a party scene. And so when things get real, party friends don't stay. But when it came to my event, she was really weird about it for a day or two until the crux of the moment when all this story really starts with the hospitalizations. I remember when she finally reached out to talk to me, I was at a restaurant with two of my ex-coworkers. My favorite restaurant. If anyone knew back then knew that I was obsessed with Iron Age. It was all you can eat Korean barbecue.
Not the Iron Age. Oh my god. She even mentioned that in her recent Texas vlogs. Okay.
The food's incredible. If you ever get to go to an Iron Age, they're all across, like, they're like in
Girl, stay on topic.
Parts of the country. It was my favorite restaurant for many, 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 many years. I was sitting outside when she video chatted me, and she proceeded to tell me that I was overreacting about the event that had happened, that it was all a misunderstanding.
Not that it's Rosie's prerogative to share this with us. I would recommend that she doesn't. But I do find it a little interesting that we don't know actually what fucking happened.
And then I just needed to talk to him like she was there. That was the moment.
Did he try putting it in the back door?
And I snapped. That was the moment that broke me. That was the moment that I remember I was at the restaurant. I got food all over.
Okay, interesting.
Because I was trying to eat and I was shaking so hard. And God bless.
Oh my gosh, Rosie. I want to feel bad for you, girl, and I do. I really do. You just got to chill out with the dramatics. Like, I can't feel bad for you and laugh at you at the same time. It's a confliction.
The two people that were with me, the girl that was there with me, she really helped me try to get through it. And I walked out to my car. At some point, I had to leave. Like, I couldn't be in public anymore, and I needed to go home. But I received a text message at the table, which is one of the reasons why I had to go. And it was from this girl's boyfriend. That's a whole fucking story in its own. But
I can understand why it would be very, like, you know, disheartening and unpleasant to hear all that. I am going to ask you, though, Rosie, you are recognizing that, like, these people don't really care about you at the end of the day, you know, like you said, unless it's for the party. So, like, why does it matter?
He told me,
if someone that I opened up to said that they didn't believe me about my assault, we're not friends anymore. Simple as that. I don't need to convince anyone.
That he was upset that I removed him from a group chat because he was dating this person. And obviously it was like my group chat. So I wasn't going to keep him in it when they were together and she's being a R-word apologist. He told me to...
Which you are also known for doing in the past. You made many excuses for the terrible, terrible actions of your partners. And I'm not saying it's right that it happened to you, Rosie, but you turned around and you did it right back. And that's just, ugh.
End it quickly and quietly. It being my life. And that was when I snapped. Because at first it was like I broke, like in a brand new way that I didn't know I could break after, quite frankly, the worst 3 days of my life, where I just was dealing with some kind of trauma episode that I didn't know how to cope through. I can't say it other than, like, I felt so out of control. I didn't know what to do. And I remember just screaming the word why over and over and over again about what had just happened. And then I paused. I remember, like, I was just screaming that word over and over again. And then I stopped and I went, I need to call 911. And she goes, okay, please do that. They took me to my local ER at the time. They gave me some kind of sedative. When they came, like, I was being symptomatic, but I wasn't screaming and belligerent at that point. I wasn't, like, acting out in any way. I just was, like, uncontrollably sobbing and extraordinarily symptomatic through my trauma responses and everything that was going on. Whatever they gave me, I still don't know. I'd have to, like, pull medical records. Made me incoherent. It made me even more out of it than any state I was in at that present moment. I remember, like, sleeping and coming in and out of consciousness. I remember a doctor walking into the room. I remember like a wavy, like kind of fuzzy visual. Like, I remember my visual and hearing being impaired. I remember not being able to understand what the doctor was telling me, that he was explaining things to me. He was barely even looking at me. And he was holding a sheet of paper to me. In the moment, I didn't know what I was looking at. I couldn't understand it. I didn't know what I was signing. He explained it to me, and then I was trying to ask questions, and I couldn't fully form sentences. And what he finally said that, like, made sense to me in that moment was, you have to sign this or the state won't cover your care. So I signed it, not understanding that I was signing an involuntary hold piece of paperwork and what that meant at that time.
Okay. I still don't think that would constitute as medical kidnapping.
Talk for a minute about the mental health laws in Georgia. What is a 1013 in Georgia? It's a legal form that authorizes emergency admission to a psychiatric facility for evaluation. Who can sign a 1013? Physicians, psychologists, clinical social workers, psychiatric clinical nurse specialists, LPCs, and law enforcement officers. The patient does not sign the 1013. Now, how long can someone be held on a 1013? The answer is up to 72 hours, excluding weekends and holidays. What happens after the 72 hours? The person may be released, sign involuntarily, or the hospital may petition for involuntary commitment. Now, let's talk about voluntary admission to an inpatient psychiatric hospital. Definition: you willingly seek treatment and request to be admitted to an inpatient psychiatric hospital. The process: you will meet with a clinician to discuss admission circumstances. Once the decision is made that an inpatient hospitalization is the best option, you'll get voluntary legal paperwork to review and sign. The "you" in this sentence refers to patient. This is a legal and voluntary form called a 1009, application for voluntary status. The patient signs this. Now, as the patient, you can request discharge at any time. Once the request is made, timelines are outlined on the 1011 legal form. These timelines give the inpatient team an evaluation period to confirm your safety prior to discharge. If the team determines that you are a risk to harm yourself or others, a petition, a 1021, will be filed with the local probate court to determine legal status. You will be given a copy of the 1011 when admitted, or if transferred to a voluntary status after arriving on a 1013, you will be provided with both a 1011 form and a 1012 form when admitted for hospitalization. After you ask for a discharge, the request must be put in writing. Staff will help you with a written request within 24 hours. They will provide you with a form to fill out. It's Form 1010. Staff must deliver your request to the medical director of psychiatric services or a designee within 24 hours, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays. After the medical director of psychiatric services or the designee receives the written request, you will be discharged unless the medical director of psychiatric services or designee finds that your discharge will be unsafe to you or to others. If you are not discharged, the process for involuntary hospitalization begins. If this happens, you will be advised of your rights.
To be honest, I only know about this stuff from the perspective of like you're in someone's custody because my friends that experienced this type of stuff, we were in high school, you know. I'm sure it's a much more, you know, different experience going through this as an adult where you have to make your own health decisions, you know. And yeah.
The 1009 and 1011 legal documents are paired together and are required to be completed prior to you or any individual being admitted to an inpatient psychiatric hospital in the state of Georgia. A cursory look online showed me that the state of Georgia will pay for psychiatric care for some cases for voluntary admittance. Or the hospital financial advisor will help you apply for grants that can fully fund your hospital stay. The paperwork that Rosie signed legally would have had to have been the voluntary hold paperwork, not a 1013 involuntary hold. Remember, she was asking to go to a psychiatric hospital. The fact that she filled out paperwork at all shows that she was there on a 1009 and 1011, aka a voluntary admission into a psychiatric hospital. The fact that Rosie can remember all of these details shows that she was not as incoherent as she's making it seem like.
Yeah. How much you want to bet she's just trying to get out of the medical bill?
No doctor is going to risk their medical license, risk their medical malpractice insurance, or be brought up before the board just to have her sign some paperwork more quickly. If a sedated patient's condition is severe enough, a doctor and his team can legally provide care without any legal recourse. They will not have the patient sign any paperwork. It wouldn't hold up in court anyway if they were sedated, and the medical records would show so. All of this shows that the doctors thought that she was legally coherent enough to sign voluntary hold paperwork. She requested a hospital bed instead of
She also didn't stay there for very long, so...
cot due to her size. It took them a couple of days to find a hospital that could take her. She was then transferred to Anchor Hospital in Georgia. To be fair, Anchor has horrible reviews. I'm not saying that it's a good place. Rosie is explicitly saying that she was taken to the ER and the mental hospital and held under a 1013, which is an involuntary mental health hold. That she signed the paperwork for a 1013. No patient signs a 1013. Only a medical professional signs that paperwork.
Not understanding that I was signing an involuntary hold. He said,
Okay, yeah. My brain didn't even put those two things together, yeah. How are you signing off on an involuntary hold for yourself?
paperwork and what that meant at that time. I believe it's called a 5150 in Georgia.
Friday, January 3rd, 2020. Rosie goes out to lunch with friends and calls 911 on herself, presumably around 12 to 1 p.m. She is taken by paramedics to her local ER. There's the first 12 hours. Saturday, January 4th, Rosie's in the ER. A request for discharge could have been made this day, aka the paperwork that she signed. Sedation to the point of incoherency can last from a few minutes to up to 6 to 8 hours, depending on what medication the paramedics gave her or the ER doctors gave her. After that wore off, she could have signed paperwork requesting discharge. However, if she made this request on Saturday, the staff has 24 business hours to help her get that in writing. After they get the request in writing, they have another 24 hours to deliver it to the director. Again, 24 business hours. At this point, only 12 business hours had happened since she went in on the voluntary hold. On Sunday, January 5th, she was still in the ER. A request for discharge and a written discharge request could have been made this day at the same time or, within a few hours of each other and still be in the limit for the timeline. She was transferred to Anchor after 60 hours in the ER, like she said, either late night Sunday or on Monday morning. I believe it was extremely early in the morning on Monday. On Monday, January 6th, the Anchor staff could deliver the written request to the director within 24 business hours of receiving the written request for discharge. The director then has 72 business hours to make a decision. They would be evaluating her to make sure that she's safe to release, essentially.
This is a crazy amount of research. Oh my God.
Tuesday, January 7th. The Anchor staff could have
Quirky, do you work in healthcare? Just asking.
delivered that written request to the director within 24 business hours of receiving it, say like that morning right away. They still have 72 hours to make a decision. Wednesday, January 8th, Rosie's in Anchor. The director would sign the order to let her out. That's 2.5 days in the ER, 3-ish days in Anchor, for a total of 5.5 days, matching up with what Rosie said. She's discharged and home. And then she posts her dated Instagram stories on Friday, January 10th. This is all just my opinion.
Wow. Seems like a very educated one.
All of these timelines match up perfectly with the voluntary hold protocol timeline.
I'm sorry I've been so quiet, you guys, during probably a decent amount of this. I am eating this shit up right alongside y'all. Oh my god.
Not with the 1013 involuntary hold timelines. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But when it came to my event, she was really weird about it for a day or two until the crux of the moment when all this story really starts.
The horror crux.
With the hospitalizations.
A couple of days.
I'm surprised she has not seriously used the word horror crux before.
Days after the assault would have been January 3rd, 2020, when she went to lunch and then called 911 on herself to go to the ER.
This all started on like January 3rd or 4th. I'd have to pull up the exact dates or whatever. Again, this is 5 days after one of the worst moments of my life.
5 days after the worst day of her life, she was transferred very early in the morning to Anchor Hospital, which tracks with what I said. And all of this fits in with the timeline of her not being on a 1013.
Oh.
So I stayed in the ER for 2.5 days. So what's that? About 60 hours? For 2.5 days, I stayed in the ER. Had they kept me another 12 hours,
Since when are there 30 hours in a day?
they could have released me. They were struggling to find a place to send me to because I didn't have insurance. This past year in 2023, when I talked about going to the mental hospital, I talked about that previously on my channel. I had a very different experience because I have good insurance now. But I even then advocated for a hospital bed because I knew that they had cots in mental hospitals, and I was promised that I would be sent somewhere that had a hospital bed. The only place that would take me was Anchor. Now I know why. I had to take over an hour-long ambulance ride to this facility, and I just remember being really bored. I was being in the ER in the
Poor thing.
psych ward for 2.5 days is a lot. I call it
Gazes.
a lot. And the staff was a lot nicer there, but I did not realize what had transpired prior. I didn't fully understand how all of this was going to play out until I got to Anchor.
Miraculously, Rosie was able to remember so much of this trip, despite having an impaired memory. She remembers coloring. She remembers how nice the staff were. She remembers being incredibly bored, all of this while in intense psychiatric distress. Truly a miracle.
But this was from
I'm starting to see where the distrust is coming in.
the intake of Anchor. This is truly the lowest moment of my life. Because I only had one pair of dirty clothes and no one bring me clean clothes. And for transport, I only had the hospital gown that didn't fit. That's all I had on. So for the ambulance ride, they gave me an orange blanket so my butt wasn't exposed. This is...
They had to take it back. I couldn't keep it. And they had such small blankets. Well, I'm sure... Sorry, this might be an asshole thing to say. I'm sure they were normal sized.
Me.
Hospitals do be having small blankets, though. I'll admit to that.
This was a stuffed animal. I don't know if you can see it right there. I've got 2 of them. There's a story to that too, but at the time I only had one. And I named her Jade. She was a little...
Oh! Jade Francis.
Squishmallow that the person that I shared this tattoo with brought me.
Did Jade have a cat tattoo? I'm kidding.
And I think this is the most demoralizing, horrific thing on the planet because this is what they put on all the files, on all your belongings, everything about you. So they have a picture reference of you.
Okay. They took a photo of you, how you looked. What else were they supposed to do? Like, okay, Rosie, get your hair all looking pretty. Do you want some makeup?
The other mental hospital that I went to doesn't do this. This is disgusting.
Rosie, a survivor of CSA, R-word, multiple other traumas, had now survived this. Medical professionals taking a Polaroid photo of her to put on her medical file so that they could visually identify her.
I know. How dare they?
This is when I was lied to, and this is what I was lied to, and that I didn't have any hospital beds in this.
Guys, is it okay to say that I think she's really mentally unwell? Like, really, really mentally unwell. Maybe worse than Amber.
I still have wrist issues because of how I had to sleep. They did not transfer my medication over from the ER, so this night, the night they took this picture, I experienced medication-induced psychosis for the first time, and unfortunately not the last because.
Sorry, I'm reading. In emergency department, doctors treat severe psychiatric episodes and extreme agitation using fast sedatives depending on the severity of the episode. I'm not saying the big words. These calm the central nervous system rapidly. Common medications used to manage acute psychosis or severe depression. The B-52 cocktail. What the fuck? Common medical shorthand for an injection that combines all these things. An Ativan to quickly and safely sedate an out-of-control patient. Huh. So which one would it have been?
All this journey that I went through this past year regarding medication and being so hypersensitive to it and having issues.
Antipsychotics work by blocking dopamine receptors in the brain to reduce psychotic symptoms. Over time, the brain tries to adapt to this blockage by creating more dopamine receptors and making them hyperreactive. Ooh. The result, if the medication is cut off suddenly, dopamine floods these newly hypersensitive receptors. This can cause dopamine supersensitivity psychosis, leading to a sudden severe relapse of psychotic symptoms that are sometimes much worse than the original episode. Is that what we're thinking this is? Like, they put her on the medication for the time being, it kind of weared everything down, and now that she's off of it again, all of these receptors are being overworked. Oh, that's so scary. That's so scary. Mental health stuff is scary, you guys.
Using mental health meds wasn't a problem for me before this place.
This is so scary. All this stuff is terrifying.
They denied me water for the first 14 hours I was there. I was promised up front at the gate by the girl who took this picture of me.
So, was she on it for longer?
That they would give me extra pillows. And again,
Rosie. Be so for real. Not the extra pillows.
I was not in my right frame of mind. For rules reasons, they tried to take Jade and stuff.
So then it's probably a good thing that you were still there then? Right?
Animal away from me, even though they hadn't given me any of the anxiety meds I had been on for previous days. So I didn't have medication to cope, but I don't know what it was about Jade over there. She was a trooper, and also I could use her as a pillow.
Unless you have been consistently taking an SSRI, antipsychotic, or a calming agent such as Ativan, going cold turkey on them after a day or two is not going to cause medication-induced psychosis.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. So she's lying. This is so hard to follow, not because of quirky moments here. I believe she's doing the absolute best she can. Rosie and how she talks in fucking circles, dude. Oh my god, she fries my brain out.
It's also important to note that the goal of these psychiatric hospitals is to stabilize you and then to send you home and get you in touch with therapy. She does explain later that while they denied her water, they were giving her juice. She was not without anything to drink. At no point was she
I doubt she wanted water anyways, be so for real.
denied fluids or denied food. A friend of hers visited the ER and gave her Jade the stuffy, but apparently they were not able to bring her clean clothes.
You know what's crazy? I once had to go to the ER for dehydration. Well, I was really sick on top of it. So that's why I had the worst stomach cramps of my ever living fucking life. And even though I was thirsty as fuck, dehydrated, I wasn't allowed to drink water because they didn't want me having to get up and whatnot constantly because I had IV bags connected to me like crazy. So I had to suck on this like lemon stick thing. It works for some reason. It works. It like relieves that sensation in your mouth for a liquid, but I just wanted some damn water.
They refused to wash my clothes that night. They didn't have a good reason. It was like the night staff just didn't want to clean them. And all I had was a nightgown with my butt exposed that I had been in for 3 days already. And
that's usually how it goes, dog.
A pair of dirty clothes that had food encrusted on them that was 3 days.
Ew. Rosie, it's... God. I mean, just how do you think that must have looked, girl? Going into the ER. Sorry to say, but 500 pounds and you're just covered in food. Girl.
Old from when I got food on myself at the restaurant. So they didn't wash it until I washing it until like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was stuck in my room and I was wrapped in blankets. I had 2 blankets I had to be wrapped up in. And I was naked when the psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever, came in to interview me, a male doctor. Again, this is 5 days after one of the worst moments of my life.
Okay. I think, though, like, the circumstance you were in, you're kind of at the whim of who is available, and who knows if you even made that specific request. Like, you said you advocated for yourself. You gotta.
Yeah. When they told me they were going to bring me my breakfast or whatever to my room, because, again, I was naked, I just was like, I don't care about the food. Please just bring me water. And it was kind of like a thing at that point in my life. I hadn't gotten to try grits yet. I really wanted to try grits.
Okay, side note.
But like I really wanted to be good grits. And I was very hungry. It had been a very long time since I'd eaten, and a very long time since I had water. So I was just I just remember like...
Was there not a bathroom in your room that you could have just gone into and got some water from the sink? I mean... That's what I did. When they would let me up to go to the bathroom, like the one time, I was like, I really gotta go. They let me up, and I was, after I washed my hands, don't even, like cupping water and drinking it from the sink.
I just didn't care about eating because I was so thirsty. And,
not the sink, but the tap. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my God.
They come back with my breakfast tray, and they put 2 fruit punches on it, but there was no fucking water. Still didn't bring me water.
Poor thing.
I just was just so frustrated. I just remember I sighed and I chugged the fruit punch because I just needed something to drink. And I got down those disgusting grits. They were the most gluey, nasty, shitty grits. And
where's my 5-star meal?
A few months after this event, I got to go to Kentucky to see a friend of mine who I knew at the time. And I remember he took me to this like really cool restaurant. And they had like grits and catfish, and I had to try actually good grits for the first time. But I still can't do them.
For your reference, this clip was sped up to 1.25 speed.
You're fucking lying. Oh my God. She's so long-winded. We're only a little over halfway done.
Rosie talked for a minute at 1.25 speed about her grits trauma.
And
Yeah, what's the grits gotta fucking do with anything, girl? I was medically kidnapped and forced to eat really bad grits. Good God.
The important highlight of the first day was that they had you fill out a worksheet. And there was an option to like check to speak to someone privately, like for therapy. And I did that because I really just needed to fucking talk to someone. And I never got pulled aside. And the next day I did the same thing in the check-in. And I walked up to the behavioral health person, therapist, counselor, whatever. And she was sitting at her desk with her binder open with sheets of fucking faces and stickers and writing her bullshit.
Don't you think she was trying to do her best? My gosh, dude. She was there. Like, oh my God. A binder full of faces. She's got a lot on her plate, dude. I also noticed, because we'll probably be speaking about this more recently as well in the future. How Rosie talks about professionals, like, and women that are professionals too. Relate this to how she speaks about Remy's professor.
And I asked her about the sheet, and I asked her, like, when I could talk to someone, and without looking up from her fucking binder, she just goes, "We don't do that here."
What Rosie apparently needed most was talk therapy, which is valid. But a mental hospital is not for talk therapy, at least not for short patient stays. Their job is to stabilize you and then
I would have assumed it's kind of like Girl Interrupted, but maybe that's my ignorance.
release you, get you in contact with a therapist who can follow up with you for long-term care, unless you were admitted for long-term intense psychiatric care.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So she wasn't even Girl Interrupted. Okay. That's how my brain knows.
That's the difference. Rosie holds a lot of resentment towards the staff at this hospital who...
All my friends growing up. Not all of them, but the ones that, had to go away for a little bit, respectfully. It was a Girl Interrupted situation.
Sounds like they weren't being malicious towards her at all. That they were busy, stressed, and trying to do their job.
And she just...
Yeah, but you gotta understand, that's not Rosie's problem.
You repeated herself. She just goes, "We don't do that here." And I remember, like, time froze for a second.
Oh my gosh.
And that was the moment that I realized, like, I was hostage. Like, that was the moment.
Girl. Okay. Now I see where people are like, she's bullshitting. Although, do we think that, like, because who knows how long she was on antipsychotic medicine for? That, like, being on it for a few days and then going off, do you think that could? Because I do think Girl is, like, again, respectfully, cuckoo.
That I realized I had fucked up by asking for help. That was the
Girl,
moment when I realized that.
don't. Let's not, like, spread that rhetoric. Don't. Oh my god. That's so much more dangerous.
I wasn't safe.
It's behavior like this that makes the...
Oh, I've seen this quite a bit in the comments.
Community believe that Rosie may have histrionic personality disorder. I have a description of a histrionic personality disorder on the screen if you're not looking at it. Rosie goes on to talk about how she met another girl there in her early 20s who was getting clean from an addiction, and that she was pregnant and had food aversions, and the staff wouldn't honor her food aversions.
Anyone else low-key, like, reading that think, damn, that's me? What the fuck? Not everything. But some of those I was like, is the call coming from inside the house? That's why I hated, they told us, the very first, like, psychology / not really a therapy class, but, like, psychology. In the very first class, they told us, like, you will read things and you will think that you have them. I promise you, you most likely do not. So, which it is a problem. It is a problem. It just happens. I don't know why.
I spent a lot of time trying to help other people because it was how I was coping. Because I'm not new to mental health. Like, I know a lot about the systems at play. I know a lot about...
See, that's the problem. I don't know as though you actually do anymore.
How to advocate for yourself, like what your rights are, like things like that. And a lot of these people have never had a day of therapy in their life. Like,
I think she knows what to say to get what she wants in the moment, but I think she went a little, flew a little too close to the sun this time, and they took her seriously.
Don't really understand the system. They didn't have the kind of support that I had growing up, things like that. And so,
Oh, what? Oh? So now all of a sudden you had a lot of support growing up? In the medical system at that, you say? Interesting, Rosie.
I did my best to just try to help people.
And then they all stood up and clapped.
Quirky. Wait, where'd you go? Why'd that disappear?
Now, up until this point, Rosie had always said that she had not received the proper support growing up.
Period. Okay, I'm catching on.
She also said that she understood her rights as a patient, enough to help others.
I don't know as though I want Quirky on my fucking... Or no, I gotta stop calling Rosie that now. Okay, sorry. Not you, Quirky Moments. Rosie. I wouldn't want Rosie on my fucking medical council.
You know, some days my food aversions wouldn't let me eat that food. It was so disgusting. There was one day I had 9 rolls for lunch, and that was it. Because a bunch of people gave me the rolls because nothing else I could eat on the plate because it was so gross. So and they were not very big rolls either. I don't even know. Was it 9? I don't know. It was like a large number of rolls. Like I just ate a bunch of bread just to try to feel full. Because you know, you didn't get snacks except once at snack time. So again, it was like, this was such a different experience when I went to like an actual facility. I mean, I wouldn't even send someone I hated to Anchor. Like, I don't know how they're open.
Somehow, Rosie bravely pushed.
Listen, I ain't gonna vouch for that place or say that, like, you know, she's maybe being wrong about that, but...
through her rolls trauma and her one snack trauma to help other people. Anchor Hospital was clearly withholding food and water from her.
Back at that moment that I mentioned at the front desk with that bitch-ass, like, behavioral health person.
Oh my god.
I started treating this entire experience like an episode of Criminal Minds. That's how I coped, like...
She had her own fucking Shutter Island? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Work diva.
I was just like, who can I trust and who can't I trust? I've never been to prison. But I think that was prison.
Oh my god, Rosie. No, prison is the body you're in, sweetheart.
I think that experience that I had was prison disguised as mental health care. I think some prisons are nicer than that place.
The dirty nails.
I was able to kind of like profile who I could talk to, how to talk to them, what I could do to like...
Ooh, master manipulator. Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
I would like pick and choose my battles, and the cooks would not listen to any of the patients, would not give them any kind of food, would not do anything extra beyond like what was allotted. The staff was just really atrocious.
Oh, I know she had a fucking issue with those cooks. Oh my god, Rosie. Oh, again, you make it really hard to feel bad for you sometimes.
At the time, I didn't really...
Like, I feel bad that she felt she needed this in the first place, but now I don't feel bad that she got what she kind of asked for. Clearly, you needed the help, girl.
Compared to now, having gone to like a really good mental health facility where like we could get snacks at any time of night. They had like pre-made sandwiches for us. Like you...
Oh god, I bet that was fucking terrible with Rosie there. I bet that was terrible, dude. That also seems very dangerous for someone with her issues.
She'd get water anytime you asked for it. Like all the staff was like trauma-informed, trained. Like, I mean, just eons of a different experience. It blows my fucking mind that place even exists.
I truly cannot understand the depths of the trauma that Rosie has undergone.
What?
Only 9 dinner rolls, which is between 700 to 1,500 calories, only having snacks at snack time, and having juice instead of water.
I know. This seems to be like the loudest complaint she has is just about the food. So, kind of tells you everything and it has to, huh?
And gluey grits. Devastating. Every time Rosie speaks about Anchor Hospital, she talks about the food longer than any other supposed abuse.
She makes it sound like it was the fucking Green Mile. We're making so many movie references.
I mentioned...
Mama's afraid of the dark.
Like, she was a really mean lady. Again, she was really mean. She did not like me specifically. Every time she looked at me with so much hate in her eyes.
Well, did you come up always fucking complaining?
Honestly, I honestly think it was because I was fat. Like not even trying to make it about that, but she
What's going on with the corner of her eye?
just like it wasn't particularly super
Looks like she's got a sty.
nice to anybody, but she especially was mean towards like certain people. I think for her own reasons, and I was one of them.
Well, you sound so enjoyable.
Rosie goes on to describe an alleged altercation that she heard without seeing from her room between the nurses and an elderly lady that was mean. She says that she heard the staff hit an elderly woman. She says that she heard...
Listen. A lot of things can happen. Just hearing it from a room, I don't know.
The woman say, "Don't hit me." I don't know if any of you have ever had experience taking care of someone with sundowners, but I do. In my own experience taking care of a patient with sundowners, I have had several patients who hit me while saying, "Don't hit me," to me. That's my experience. I do not believe the staff or...
Well, were you beating your patients, Quirky? I'm kidding about something you really shouldn't joke about, but we cope with humor here, okay?
Hitting anyone.
Because I want to say this was like the second night that I was there that this happened. I was trying to sleep, and I had to sleep on like a flat surface. I had one small flat pillow, so the only way I could breathe and sleep was sleeping on my stomach.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. Oh, so it was a Pillow Mountain situation. Gotcha. Well, Rosie, I agree with you. What they should have done is they should have gone into every other patient's room, taken their pillows, so you could have them all. 1,000%. It's the only fair thing to do.
I don't know if you heard that, but I don't want to do the position because it hurts. With my hands like this on my chin and sleeping on my elbows. It's the only way I could sleep.
Or you would literally stop breathing. This sounds like a wake-up call, dog. What the fuck?
And that, my friends, is medical malpractice meets fat phobia. Because that should be super illegal. This wrist is still fucked up. It's like my hands are always going to be fucked up from sleeping like that for some...
I see what you're doing here, Quirky. Showing how often she rests like this. Yeah, I mean, even if you probably look in her current day live streams.
3 days in a row when I could sleep. And
she always is constantly in tummy time.
I still have permanent side damage from it as well. It's intermittent, but yeah.
Miraculously, her permanent hand damage was healed during an 11-hour live stream where she talked about Life by Jen and laid on her hands and did tummy time for the entire 11 hours.
Are you kidding? Holy fuck. Listen, I know I let out like 7-hour-long videos, but those are filmed literally over weeks, you guys. I'm not sitting down for 7 hours. Fuck.
And I was able to manipulate the front desk lady into letting me use the phone. I think...
Oh, interesting you use that terminology.
She had to like turn it on for me, if I remember right. But I was able to explain to her, like, my mom lives in Norway. Like, I promise you, it's a normal time there. Like, I'm not just randomly calling someone in the States. She's got, like, it was like a Magic Jack phone number or something. And so I remember, like, I called my mom. And I was like, I told her what happened. My mom was really trying to help me, like, do everything I could just to get out of there. Because, you know, being assaulted is a horrible experience. It is truly a very horrific form of trauma. But I can confidently say that my experience at the facility in those 3 days was far worse.
Oh.
Than the initial trauma that took place.
Rosie. Not to make light of that, But they gave you something to cry about then.
Hey, last time I made an Instagram story, I was in a really bad state. And it's been, I don't even know how many days since, probably like maybe about a week, 8-9 days. I just want to apologize to anybody that I freaked out with how I was acting, because I had some people being like, hey, are you okay? Because no, I wasn't. And I'm still trying to get better. I've been through a lot. This past week's been really bad. If you're on my Facebook, you know what's going on, because I had a meltdown before I sought out help.
So this is immediately once she got out, right?
I just wanted to say that I'm okay. I don't want to share too much on Instagram because I don't know who's watching this, but I'll just keep it very brief. I have a lot that I am reflecting on and owning up to this past year.
Rosie began to post about the assault and the psych ward stay on her Instagram stories. Later on, she would organize those so that people could more easily see what had happened to her. This is her first post of 2020 on her main Instagram page.
She looks like a problem. Sorry.
At least the first main one that she has left up for us to see. This photo has a lot of imperfections I don't like about it, but that's okay. Someone I hurt, who I should not have, gave me this dress and a beautiful gift of compassion. I felt so beautiful today. For the first time in over 18 days, I took pride in myself, in my appearance, in the recovery and accountability of how I ended up where I did so quickly within the new year. I did it for myself, and I have pride in that and in myself. I got to watch an artistically beautiful movie with a story of self-love, women's empowerment, and the growing pains of family. Every woman who wants love within herself should go see Little Women and reflect on how you feel. About to enjoy a lovely dinner with someone who has shown an...
Oh, I was going to say, the top is kind of giving Little Woman. Well, you know.
immense compassion. I continue to be thankful. Posted January 18, 2020. Rosie made another couple of posts on Instagram, but notably on February 8th, she introduced Esmeralda, her new stuffed unicorn piggy squishmallow. Rosie...
The fact that Quirky is introducing this to us means it's going to be important. Oh my god.
was clearly struggling with her mental health after everything that she had been through. The caption reads as follows: I'm a real sad girl tonight. Nothing recent, but just having really bad bouts of anxiety attacks at night that cause me to struggle to breathe. And before anyone wants to mouth off, I've had my cardiovascular systems checked 4 times in the past 2 years alone.
Well, girly, it sounds like you do have trouble breathing laying down.
And all my tests come back with flying colors. It's one of the many physical anxiety symptoms I get, just like one of my parents. I'm also struggling with significant insomnia ever since the beginning of this year, since a series of traumas occurred. I don't feel safe at night, so generally, I only sleep well during the day. Shit's effing rough right now, I'm not even gonna front. But hey, Esmeralda is my homie and she keeps me company during my anxiety attacks, lol. Mental health is hard to manage. I'll overcome this eventually. If you are still reading this rambling caption, I love you. Thank you for caring enough to stop and see how I'm doing.
Aw, she loves you, Quirky.
I'm trying my best. It constantly feels inadequate or not good enough, but I promise I'm trying. These days, Rosie talks a lot about experiencing housing instability during 2020. She writes in a post dated February 13, 2020, me when it's midnight and like 3 of the most overhanging highest stresses in my life get resolved in one day, and now I have a stable place to live and a way to make money while I find a more permanent job. Heart emojis. I'm so excited and thankful, and I get to help a friend that needs it. I still have quite an uphill battle, but not having to stress about homelessness and being able to provide for myself is something I'm so beyond thankful for. It's been a rough couple months. Don't forget that so much of this country...
Could you imagine if, like, she was actively posting to YouTube during all this? Oh my god. She'd be insufferable.
Familial/spousal financial support is 2 missed paychecks away from homelessness. Sometimes it takes a village, and I'm so thankful for mine that have helped me through these massive PTSD episodes and life struggles I've gone through. Forever blessed. Rosie continued to post throughout the summer. A lot of what she posted was inspirational and body positive posts. She
Look at her in the mountains.
continued to reference the struggles that she had been through. But shockingly, on September 16th, 2020, she posted something else. I know 2020 has been an insane year for most people. I'm not excluded from that. Most of my friends tell me
Listen, guys, I know it's been hard for everyone, but me especially.
I've had an especially difficult year, and that I would agree with, while acknowledging I've had so many blessings and modern miracles happen to protect me. To wrap up this year by moving back to Omaha is just something I didn't expect.
Oh.
Life has taken a lot of unexpected turns.
So, this person that you met and instantly knew was bad news, you went and moved back in? Or am I thinking of a different person? I am so confused with the story that we're being told here in this, and then the story that Rosie herself has told us. Very confusing.
Yes, I don't have the exact date yet, but it's on the horizon. I just have to continue the prayer and manifestation to brighter days, leaving the past in my shadows. I wanted to make sure I got to the mountains at least once before I left, and I hope to go one more time. This is the spot over 13 years ago we spread our Grandy's ashes. It was a very personal and powerful day to me. Without her as one of my guardian angels watching over me, I don't know how much I would have gotten through this year. So much loss and pain. Here we are mid-September, and every day has been getting easier since the 1st of January. Healing comes in time. Hashtag body positive, self-love journey, BOPO, love yourself first, love yourself.
BOPO?
Rosie was
body positivity.
moving back in with Chris. The condition upon them being back together.
Yeah, didn't she say this guy was a psycho? Thank you for helping me in building the foundation of our new home. Safely and in planning. Oh.
Was that they would be in an open relationship. However, Chris was not happy with this. She posts in this Snapchat story, "Thank you for helping me and building the foundation of our new home safely and in planning. I love you endlessly. We both had demons we were sorting out, to put it metaphorically." Rosie posted this tribute online before she moved out of state. This was dated October 31st, 2020. My last day visiting the Georgia mountains before moving out of state was a beautiful moment I hope I'll never forget. This small farm business was such a treat to visit, and to drive around with music blaring and my hands riding the waves of the cool fall air, drinking hot apple cider from Mac Aaron's is something I'm going to deeply miss. My Grandy's ashes were spread on Fort Mountain, and I'll always feel her warmth and free-flowing spirit and love there and at the places I've found along the way. If you ever get the chance to go to Bradley's Pumpkin Farm, I recommend the apple slushy or the muscadine slushy.
Apple slushy sounds good.
Which are locally grown grapes that are slightly sour if you like grape juice. I sat outside with the mother of the owner and talked a lot about the owner of the brooch I bought that I'll post pics of tomorrow, and the story behind it, as well as the store and local area. I love these kinds of experiences, and while I'm sad I won't be here to enjoy them as often, I'll be back. This won't be my last trip to the mountains. Excited to get back to Omaha and start rebuilding my life.
Doing all this for 98 likes seems like a lot, but that's Rosie.
From the wreckage of 2019 and 2020.
She does a lot more for a lot less on YouTube.
20. Now, it's important to remember that I am attempting to undertake this doc in a chronological order. That means I'm showing you things as they happen and
Yeah. So a lot of things are going to come back. All right? We got to have a firm memory.
Not necessarily when we found out that they happened. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, this next screenshot. The date on this is important. November 12th of 2020. SS BBW fan 73 says, "Hi."
I just realized what this is.
Quirky Love Rosie says, "Hey there. I'm currently based in Omaha, but I'd love to come visit sometime and see Vegas for the first time.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I want to go to the Poly BBW party scene out there." SSBBW Fan 73 says, "There isn't much of a Poly BBW scene here, unfortunately, other than at my house, ha ha ha. You've never been to Vegas? Oh, that should be changed." Tongue out emoji. Within a month of moving back in with Chris in Omaha, Rosie was already trying to go to the Paradise House in Las Vegas. As of June 2026,
but they don't tell you the price that you pay.
there is a documentary regarding Paradise. It's called Big Girls Wanted, Escaping Paradise. You can watch it on HBO Max or Investigation ID. SSBBW Fan 73, his name is Stefan. And this man did unspeakable acts to many plus-size women that came
And Rosie was just begging.
to his home, aka Paradise House.
And then how much longer after was it that she did the interview? I think she really just did it because she was pissed off he didn't invite her.
Which was a content house. In a later part of the documentary, I will be discussing Paradise, but we're going to put it on the table for now. But again, this was less than a month after she had moved back in with Chris, and they were giving their relationship a real other try, you know? Now back to the timeline. Around November of 2020, Rosie moved back to Omaha to be with Chris. Rosie was still doing adult content online. However, at this point in time, she didn't have a traditional 9-to-5 job. Rosie threw herself into the life of being a stepmom to Chris's young child.
When we were together, I mentioned it in like the video talking about being an ex-stepmom, but like I really wanted to build our own family, like our own family unit, and I was trying to do a lot in terms of.
Oh no. Wait, this is this the child that you outed?
Like childcare and things like that, and
yeah, no, I bet having Rosie would be a great mother figure. Fuck.
Putting myself into the household and cooking and cleaning and just trying to do things that way.
Rosie writes in one Instagram post in April 23rd of 2021, "I'm so thankful the weeks I get to have a little bit of just us time. Child's squared away for the weekend, and we are heading out in a little bit for part 2 of our
Oh, she really was living her stepmom realness, huh?
date today. Been feeling really creative and expressive today. It's been so nice to just focus on me right now. I know she's safe and living her best life with her best friend, LOL." She posted on May 8th, 2021, "Messy mirror from yesterday. Child has a new friend over today, so we just tag team to deep clean the bathroom for the routine deep clean beforehand. She's awesome, and I liked my cute, simple outfit from yesterday, so I thought I'd pop in and say hi." Behind the scenes, Rosie and Chris's relationship was not all sunshine, rainbows, and daisies. She has a lot
I mean, I can believe it.
of harsh things to say about him that she still has up on her current channel.
Oh?
Rosie later says that a trigger for the downfall of their relationship was that she broke her foot. She posted on Instagram, "I just broke my foot on my way to the car for the parents' night."
How convenient.
Rosie posted on May 11th, 2020.
She actually did, though. Fuck. Also, just like this. Mass. That's actually crazy.
21. "I can't remember how to spell the type of foot fracture I have. It just hurts a lot. The pain management is better today. I resorted to some old school methods, but I'm doing okay overall. My biggest current issue is my mental health and focusing on not giving up on my #CPTSD #recovery journey.
Oh my gosh.
That's the hardest part because I broke my foot 4 hours after my second or third meeting to get 3 follow-ups scheduled. Also, doesn't my foot shape look kind of weird? Like the
Yeah, I wonder why.
way my big toe is bent? I've never had a foot x-ray, but my feet bones look weird."
Well, Rosie, truth be told, imagine having 500 plus pounds pushing down onto Something like your feet. Yeah, the toes are gonna be spread the fuck out.
So, I sleep my ass Chris to take my picture to send to my mom, and I don't remember if I've actually done that yet. That was the last one in this thread. For scientific personal reasons, if there is a podiatrist watching this, I would also like to know if her foot bones look weird. Thank you. Around the time that Rosie broke her foot, she weighed around 550-ish pounds. That's around 250 kilograms. Her relationship with Chris became even more strained during this medical issue. Rosie posted on May 19, 2021, "It's been a hell of a month, y'all. But I'm finally at peace with my medical situation, and I have a long way to go. But I'm going to be taking a mental break because the pain I endured this past week was insane, and not just because of a foot injury. I'm doing so much better now, safe, happy, and, well, motivated." On June 3rd, 2021, Rosie posted a really disheveled photo of herself. It was a bathroom selfie. She said, "What up, guys? Newly single and definitely not ready to mingle. Hashtag hospital vibes, but deaf not related. Just, the same shit, different day vibe." Rosie posted on June 10th, 2021, "It's too hot to not have a handheld fan on you, because WTF, man. Also, I can't thank everyone enough for the support. I still have a long way to meet these goals, so click the link in my bio and watch my GoFundMe video for context."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should have assumed she had probably one or several GoFundMes set up at some point.
Shares mean just as much to me as donations in terms of kindness and support. If you know anyone who may be moved to help, it would mean the world. I'm at a loss, and I'm terrified for my future, to be honest with you. But the support here on this profile, it's effing priceless. Priceless. Rosie and Chris had broken up. Chris had ended it with her for the last time. Rosie was expected to move out, but...
Wait, why do I feel like we watched this video?
She didn't have any money. Rosie started a GoFundMe to help her financial situation. Remember, she had been doing content creation of the adult nature, but she had mainly been focusing on being a stepmom, according to her. They had broken up, but Chris didn't kick her out on the street. He let her live with himself and his child while she looked for a place to go.
That's nice.
Rosie reached out to her parents for help, but at the time, they were unwilling or unable to let her move to Florida to live with her brother Levi in their grandmother's old house.
Oh, interesting. Why?
A big reason for the breakup came out later. Rosie had habitually crossed boundaries with Chris's child.
Ugh.
Rosie somehow gained access to the child's school email and would read through it.
That is so unacceptable. Listen, that's unacceptable to do, I believe, truthfully, to your child in general. Someone that's not even your child? Fuck out of here.
Invading the privacy. She later claimed that it was so she could figure out what the child liked so that she could better start conversations with them and get closer to them.
No, that's even weirder. That's even weirder. That's not out of a place of concern. That's out of a place of them wanting to like you more. So you're going to manipulate them. Oh, now I have a serious fucking issue with her. That is so predatory.
But in the process of digging through the emails, she found evidence that the child was perhaps questioning their gender identity and was perhaps non-binary.
Now listen, I have heard this accusation many, many a times. Just didn't have the specifics on it. So, as much as, I really do respect y'all, I'm going to need to see the evidence for myself. You know what I mean? So, here we are. But that's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And Rosie, if I'm just going to throw this out there, if you actually grew up with a real queer experience, you would know how life-altering, how damaging, and how dangerous that is to do.
Rosie, quote, had to make sure that conversation happened. She violated the child's privacy by talking to Chris about it, and she pressured the child to come out. The child was 10 years old at the time. Rosie also had a very strained relationship with her in-laws, or Chris's family, essentially.
I think the fact that my ex's family really didn't like me
was a big factor, which is kind of crazy because, like, my ex is a straight up atheist, and I'm not. Nothing against atheism on my end, but I am a very spiritual person, and his
Interesting.
family would keep lumping me in as an atheist when they would get into arguments or like there would be disagreements because they're very like pro-Trump, like very hyper, like hypocritically religious, just frankly really unpleasant people to me specifically. And they liked to throw any tiny small thing that they did for me in my face as like proof that they were treating me well or equally when it wasn't the case at all. And frankly, they just did not like me because I was fat and liberal. That's just the bottom line. And it didn't matter that I was really good to their grandchild. It didn't matter all my, all the accomplishments that I did do in the time that I was involved in their life. None of it mattered. And
now, Rosie, what accomplishments were that?
And
making adult content online, right?
I really realized, like, in my next relationship, I don't fucking want that. Like, if
Interesting, because now she's with Remy, and it's another pretty religious situation.
If someone's family is like that with me again, I don't know if I'm gonna stay because
I bet you would for Remy. I bet you will.
All I really wanted was like to be accepted into the family of like the person that I love, and ultimately, like, I feel like that really impacted the relationship itself.
Rosie continued to post online after her breakup with Chris. On June 17, 2021, she wrote, "First time I put this shirt on since 2019.
Oh, gosh. The tie-dye dress.
It's the shirt I wore when I met someone who ended up assaulting me further down the line. It's a shirt I am reclaiming to continue radiating confidence and self-love. I'm never letting others control my happiness or actions again. Hashtag self-love all day, every day, baby. This is what I'll be wearing at my first Pride Parade tomorrow." Rosie was still trying to raise money so that she could move. She posted on June 25th, 2021, hashtag throwback to say, hey, not really
She 1,000% could work at this point, yeah?
in a selfie mood tonight, but I just wanted to publicly thank @Mama Horker for making such a loving choice to shout out my GoFundMe. Link in bio. I'm at the point of considering putting my health in danger to get work to get the means I need to get a car.
Girl.
So any shares or anything at all does truly help. But beyond that, I was so excited that we got a chance to have a real, candid conversation about such a variety of different topics. It warms my heart that they are this caring and giving with what they can do. I'm so thankful to have so many incredible internet friends. Rosie posted on July 1st, 2021, trying to stay happy while this bored from all the rest I have to do as I wait out the 6-month or so heal time for my foot fracture is annoying. I do a lot of cooking and cleaning, as well as run errands and drive, but it's hard, man. I wish I felt like it was okay to talk about more, but my past experiences with fat phobia makes it hard to feel safe to express my emotions around choosing to be active with a broken foot. But even with a broken foot, I found a job. I am currently the lowest weight I've been, so was under the age of 21, and I'm improving my stress management immensely, even if things are still weird and hard in my personal life. So here's me feeling cute. Even when things are hard, I choose self-love.
She is always suffocating, dude. Oh my god. It makes me feel claustrophobic for her.
On October 1st, 2021, Rosie posted this. I'm moving to Florida October 6th to start my life with what I can fit in 3 suitcases.
Oh.
It's so surreal. I'm so thankful that I have...
Again, why did her parents not want her to move in with Levi? I mean, besides the obvious, but like, actually, why?
Somewhere safe to go and be able to take the time I need to heal, figure out my autoimmune issues, and build my life from the ground up.
She's doing a great job of that.
I won't lie, it's been a hard and humbling experience to be essentially forced to give up almost everything I own when I've already lost so much of it moving around as much as I did the last 3 years. I fought so hard to keep this bed I love, and I can't keep it among so many things that may seem silly to others. But to me, things like the specific comforter, or fan, or ratty sweater were all things that brought me so much comfort during the hardest times of my adulthood. All I know is some of the best growth comes from stripping a plant of all its leaves. So maybe there is a metaphor somewhere in there.
Huh?
A metaphor indeed. So in October 2021, Rosie moved to Florida. She moved in with her brother, Levi, who's 2 years younger than her. The house that Rosie moved into with her brother was actually her maternal grandmother's. Her grandmother had passed away around 2005 or 2006, if I have that correct. Rosie's mom and her grandmother were especially close, and after she passed away, her mom kept a lot of her possessions in the home. An interesting thing about Rosie's family dynamic is that her parents actually currently live in Norway. They're not Norwegian. Around 2015, her father was offered a job position in Norway, and he moved there.
Yeah, I take it. ASAP.
Her mom couldn't handle the separation after about 6 to 8 months, and despite having visited, she knew it was time to move, and so her mom picked up and moved there as well. Her mom currently works as a tour guide for different walking tours around Norway. Her parents come to visit around twice a year, sometimes both of them, sometimes just one of them. Rosie posts on January 31st.
Gosh. And the thing is, we've seen her sitting up. We know that that's not how her chest rests, okay? So she is explicitly taking these photos, purposefully oofing them up in everyone's face.
2022.
Just saying. Just saying. Over on her Instagram, that's your Instagram, so you know what? You do your thing or whatever. But YouTube, really? Is it appropriate? No.
Fighting for my inner peace has been a fruitful and difficult battle. Lately, I hope to achieve more victories, choosing my growth over satisfying temporary fears. I hope to push through anxiety into decisions that lead to great successes. And while my success may look different from others, it will be something I can be very proud of. Hashtag self-love journey, self-love, body positive, body positivity, trauma recovery, PTSD, mental health recovery, fat and free, golden confidence, fat babe.
I don't know. I'm not even like criticizing her for leaning so hard into it, because like, you know, some people are really heavily affected by the ish that they go through. She just hopped on that train really fucking fast. My gosh.
Rosie was attempting to move on from Chris. On February 6, 2022, she posted this photo after she had gone out on a nice dinner date.
Oh my god. Okay, do you see what I mean?
Rosie was actively looking for a job since she had moved to Florida.
Was she?
She was still posting on her Phoebe account, along with other websites, and I believe that she was still doing the Google Drive link direct selling as well.
That's just such an odd thing. Like, sex work, valid. Sharing Google Drives?
On April 5th, 2022, Rosie posted, met some lovely people while at the park, and some very sweet girls took some photos of me at the dock of this park. Had a blast walking around and playing Pokemon Go. Don't forget to go to my previous post and comment any questions you may want me to answer on the podcast I am recording on Friday.
Oh, gosh.
Rosie had been invited to go on the Ohio BBW Network podcast. Rosie posted on April 9th, I took this photo pre-podcast interview. Had an amazing time chatting with at Ohio BBW Network last night. Keep an eye out for the links on Spotify and YouTube to go live in the next few days. Dressed from at Sanctuary Design.
How much you want to bet that Rosie goes on all these feeder bashing platforms just so that feeders will look her up? How much you want to bet?
It's your boy Anonymous, the author, aka Anonymous Rap Guy, and I am back with another Ohio BBW Podcast Network interview. Today we have the awesome, the fantastic, the cool, the laid back, the writer apparently, and the super energetic lazy Miss Rosie Jean. How are you doing today, ma'am?
Did he just say super energetic lazy?
I am doing fantastic. I'm glad to be here. How you doing?
The Ohio BBW Network podcast is hosted by Anonymous, the author. You can find his full interview with Rosie on YouTube and Spotify. However, you should note that it's tagged as Scary Stalker Stories with @FatRosePhoenix, not Quirky Love Rosie. As of 2026, Rosie doesn't promote this podcast that was filmed in 2022.
Oh, interesting. She talks about that other one all the frickin' time.
If you search her socials, she doesn't have it linked anywhere, unlike the 3 that she did in 2023. In fact, the only tag you'll find is that she tagged the main account on that post of her in the dress that she wore for the actual podcast interview. In August of 2022, Rosie's mom came from Norway to visit. She talks a little bit about Rosie's childhood, including trips to Canada that they took that Rosie didn't even realize were in Canada at the time. Remember, they lived in Michigan for a long time during Rosie's childhood, so crossing the border would have been a lot easier.
Just the random things I find. This was from our trip to Canada. Remember when we used to go?
Oh, they have plastic money now.
That's not plastic.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, this was 1990s, in the 1990s-ish, when we would, remember when the McCartneys, they had that cabin that I would go and clean it in exchange.
I have no idea who the McCartneys are.
That's okay. Or McCarthy's. They were customers of ours. It's something like that. Dad moved a lot of their stuff.
Okay.
So as a reward, they would lend us their cabin, which was a 5-bedroom home right on Lake Erie.
Wow.
Like sand out the front door, and in exchange for that, I would do a deep clean, and we never had to pay. And you guys got to go out to the beach. And,
How old was I? 5, 6? 4?
So 1995, 7.
I was like 4 to 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you'd remember that, but hey, everyone's different.
Up until 99, I think we went. We go every summer for a couple weeks. But remember when we went through the drive-through safari? Do you remember that? That was in Canada.
Oh, they do be having a lot of those up there. I'm pretty sure I went to Park Safari when I was really young. I didn't like it. And then later on in life, I went to Granby Zoo. But Granby Zoo is like more. You know, they have actual zoo. They have like a little amusement park. You know, it's not as just like...
Wait, am I remembering that, or did I do another drive-through safari when I was older?
You remember the monkeys?
Giraffes?
The monkeys sliding down the windshield, and a monkey sitting on the back with his tail coming down the back window.
Was there giraffes? Or
Yes, they stuck their head in, and you got to touch their...
How the hell do I remember that?
Well, it was pretty
Wow.
cool, I think.
I remember that.
Good, I'm glad. Huh. Elise went with us. I'm not sure if Melissa, one of the times, Elise, I think Elise was with us with that.
I've been to Canada? That's a newsflash to me.
Several times.
What?
The way she says several times.
Yeah, you were like, why is the milk in a bag? And that's not Canadian syrup.
That's nuts. I did not know this about myself.
Well, Rosie, I guess you learn something new every day.
After her mom's
It's
visit
odd.
and her interview on the BBW podcast, not much seemed to happen on Rosie's social media until around September.
Is that what she started messaging Zachary Michael? No, I'm kidding.
On August 22nd, 2022, she posted that she was working from home. She said, that hashtag work from home life means I took my hair down just for this selfie while sipping on my drink in my PJs. Life is good. Rosie was still heavily active on Instagram and growing her following. She had the opportunity to be part of an adult coloring book at one point. On September 7th, 2022,
And of course it comes with this giant fucking paragraph, dude. Oh my god. Oh, Rosie is never at a loss for words, that's for damn sure.
posted, I got a really awesome opportunity to volunteer to be a model for an adult plus-size coloring book made by an independent plus-size focus artist at Rita X, linked in my and her link tree. I am so excited about this. I discovered the therapeutic nature of coloring when I was 17 during my first ever bout of serious therapy and a PCP program. Back in 2009, adult coloring books weren't much of a thing, and it wasn't cool for adults to color.
Oh, so something has to be cool for you to enjoy it now? Weird.
For me, I think I'm so stoked about this, mainly because it feels so full circle, and like one of the coolest things ever to be in a coloring book you can buy off Amazon. This just feels very like on brand for me as a person. I didn't even know this was a bucket list moment for me until I found the opportunity. This is an 18 plus coloring book. Please note that before purchase.
Ew. Can only imagine.
But I love her line work, and I just wanted to share this with y'all. I will not be making any money for this. For full transparency, I bought my own copy because I believe in supporting art and the artist.
Everything has to be so ethically motivated.
And I hope y'all do too. I used color pencils for the one I colored, and I want to get markers and get gel pens again to try out as well. And check out the artist at Rita X. I'm pretty sure she does commission work as well. Rosie's work from home job had around an 8-week long training program.
Oh wait, this isn't the training, but if you're about to tell me that she had more issues during the training of this job too, oh lord.
In the beginning of September, she was just about done. I believe there was a test that she was taking. Unfortunately, a week later, she got pretty sick with bronchitis, and she had to start calling out from work pretty regularly.
Listen, that's very, very unfortunate, so, yeah.
Her work was not very happy about this, and Rosie was starting to get worried that she'd be fired. She posted on September 21st, 2022, took this
face card, guys. Her face card never declines. You ugly hater.
photo the day I started to feel a little off, and that was about 6 days ago now. I'm still fighting a really intense case of bronchitis. I'm missing so much work of my new job, and I'm really, really stressed out. And the meds I got from the Minute Clinic are not helping me as fast as they should be.
Oh, please. She definitely didn't want to work. I'm understanding to a degree. And then it comes to a point where it's like, oh, you're posting a picture of you in the pool talking about how sick you feel? Girl, doing too much. And of course, a whole nother paragraph.
I've been resting and doing everything on a schedule, including breathing treatments. Please send those good vibes my way or pray for me, whatever. I've been working so hard and my job isn't really working very well with me on it because I'm in my first 90 days. But hey, I'm so thankful I get to experience gorgeous skies and weather like this. Rosie made friends in Florida. She was going to BBW parties and she was still continuing with her online S work. For Halloween that year, she cosplayed as Jessica Rabbit, as pictured here. And she went to a huge Halloween bash.
I was looking down for 1 second, and then I look up and I see the damn Jessica Rabbit photo. Fucking hell. I thought she looked like Amber.
As far as Rosie's love life had gone, she was still single. She'd been on a few dates.
Well, I mean, when you only love to talk about yourself.
But she was not serious with anyone. There had been a few casual things, but again, nothing that had lasted.
Not 10 people in one night anymore? Oh.
However, about a year after the breakup, Rosie started posting a little bit more openly about her dating life. She actually posted on August 3rd, 2022, I've made the decision to not touch dating apps until 2023. And truly, the peace in my life from that choice simply cannot be bought. The only people I'll even consider talking to are if I find someone interesting in my DMs, kissy face.
Oh. So you're just going to use Instagram now as a dating app. Good job, Rosie. Yeah, no. Much better selection there.
But as my bio says, I'm single and chronically unimpressed. So far, that pattern is still going, and I'm focusing on me.
Don't worry, Rosie. I'm sure people are really unimpressed with you as well.
On October 20th, 2022, Rosie posted this rant.
Imagine being told by someone who really hasn't accomplished much in life that they're unimpressed with you. Sorry, it's just sometimes the girls, like... at some point, they need just a good laugh in the face.
We're just gonna pretend my hair isn't doing what it's doing. I just wanted to make this little TikTok to say that over like the past year and a half or so,
Very ALR coded. She even got the poop bun.
Since I went through a really messy breakup, I've just realized that I've come to this conclusion that I am never going to be the type of person who will let myself be with someone and just let them be complacent about me in their life. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to be with someone who doesn't treat me like a priority, doesn't treat me like I'm special.
Oh, you're definitely special, Rosie.
And who doesn't treat me like they are thankful to have me in their life. If we're not hitting those marks, then we're not meant to be together.
Okay, listen, fair, but those are things that you have to build towards. Like, and it's really coming off as if you are not starting like that, then it's not worth it to her. And now, of course, she has Remington, who comes in, blowing it off of the street like, you're the most special, beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's like he saw this video, knew exactly what to say to her.
And if there is some major deal breaker, I'm walking away. No hurt feelings, no harm, no foul.
Right. She ain't gonna walk away from anyone. The girls, with all due respect, they have to be broken up with. They aren't going to do the breaking up.
But at this point in the game, I'm not dealing with anybody's bullshit like that ever again. We're just going to pretend my hair isn't doing what it's doing.
Something tells me she'll be reliving some things with Remington. And if their relationship were to get really serious, I guarantee you, they all end the same way. They all end the same way.
Rosie had made a TikTok at the beginning of 2022, and this was probably her most notable post of the year.
The frickin' typing. POV, you're on vocal rest. Oh my god, eye roll. Okay, Ariana. After getting sick for a second time in 2 months, texting your besties about how the guy you went on a date with was arrested for $4 million worth of PPP loan fraud, and you only found out because he photoshopped pictures of himself pretending to be in Hawaii, so your friend Googled him. Okay. But you didn't meet him on a dating app, at least.
Something new this year was...
Just everything is so dramatic with Rosie. You know? Everything. My gosh.
That Rosie also began talking openly about her supposed needs as a self-diagnosed autistic person.
Oh, Lord. Listen, I'm sure she got plenty of flack, you know, before all this, but this was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, you know? Just, oh my gosh.
Rosie posted on December 28, 2022, "Let's make wearing headphones with no audio to help sensory needs the new fashion trend of 2023. Please and thanks." 2022 seemed to end pretty uneventfully for Rosie. But starting in 2023, the drama hit hard and fast. And most of it was caused by Rosie.
Oh, alrighty. Is this like a preview of what's to come?
Rosie Jean, who was in an episode with me, and I are no longer friends. I ended the friendship.
Ooh.
She was very sore about it. Some things have transpired since then, and it's become a whole Instagram drama.
This person puts 18 plus on all of her social media profiles. They aren't like locked, like her YouTube channel is public and stuff, obviously, but yet very clearly is like, my channel is for adults and up.
But keeps it open.
So why was I being involved as a 16-year-old?
Ooh.
That sounds a lot fucking more predatory to me than not liking the sounds of people eating.
What?
No. Rosie is definitely predatory. Okay? She 1,000% is. That whole thing with the stepkid, or, well, you know, we'll just call him the stepkid. That's predatory behavior. Point blank. It doesn't matter if the result is, you know, schmexual or not, like what the predator is aiming for. You are using a child and their experience to try to manipulate them to like you more. That's a predator.
That person, that short friendship, what they did to me on Twitter made me relive that experience.
Oh, Lord. Is this the online essay that she claims?
Is that their fault? Not necessarily.
No, but you're going to frame it like that.
But they knew better.
Yeah! Call me unstable all you want, bitch!
Oh, we definitely will. This is from around 2023 when the whole planet with a Pilates situation was happening. What? It's part of the somewhat lost IG stories mentioned in Fluffy Enderpug's video about the situation.
Keegan, as I reverse my diabetes.
How's that going, Rosie? Was it the bracelet that did it for you?
If you've made it this
Good
far,
gosh.
thank you so much for watching. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Part 3 will be coming soon.
I'm guessing these are like where a lot of this archived information is coming from. I think the only one that we really have checked out is Nikki T. Oh, we've checked out Vera the Chicken before. Highly recommend her as well. The others, though, like, I've heard of Aren't You Exhausted? They're a good one. The other ones, though, I'm going to have to check out.
It's already half done. I apologize for the delay in part 2.
Oh, you're
Special
good,
thanks
Diva.
again to Nikki T for archiving all of these things. And please go and follow all these amazing creators on YouTube. All of them cover Rosie to some extent, and they're all incredible. Thank you again, and catch you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. We're being fed. We're being taken care of. Rosie, the savior of Girl World that you are. See, I feel like Rosie would love that and fucking hate it at the same time. This is very much a be careful what you wish for situation. But yeah, I know, guys, what a freaking long episode. But we have a lot of catching up to do. Glad that, you know, we are finally getting our footing here. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Oof. And I can only imagine what Rosie's response to a lot of this is going to be, you know? Because she hides a lot. And that's what she relies on, too. Is that not too many people are going to remember the things that happened back in 2020. And even if you do slightly remember it, there's not really much proof of it, or not easy to find proof, at least. This will change that. And then Rosie's going to fucking hate that shit. So I imagine Crash Out coming pretty soon. But yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning on, especially if you stuck around this long. Oh my gosh, this took about 2 days to film. No, it just felt like 2 days. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Like, I knew she's been on the internet for a while, but it still feels like we're somewhat recent, you know, like 2020-ish. That's only 6 years ago. It's really not that long, but I guess it's just crazy to see like all of this has gone down in 6 years. Like, that's just crazy. There's so much. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning on in. Hope everyone's having a beautiful start to their week once again. And yeah, keep an eye out. We'll see what else is to come, but keep an eye out, guys. I feel brain dead after all this. Thank you so much, y'all. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend once again. You're gonna have a good week. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, like and subscribe. Big comments. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care.